Good evening, good evening, good evening, family, and welcome to this week's edition of What's Going On. I am your host, Pastor Akin Bandele. I'm so excited to be with you tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, go ahead and share the video for us tonight. We have a wonderful program for you tonight. Share the video, share the links, invite your friends, your co-workers, your in-laws, your ex-laws, your outlaws, invite everybody you know and people you don't even know. Invite them on Facebook and YouTube. Have them join us tonight. If you are not following us on Facebook, do us a favor, just follow me, Pastor Akin Bandele. I would love to have you on our channel. And also for all of you on YouTube, do us a favor and subscribe to our channel. And also press that notification bell so that you will be notified whenever we come live. Man, it's been an exciting week. What an election we had. So you need to join the conversation tonight. It's going to be good. We're going to talk about the election that just happened, and we'll go into the pros and the cons, and I know some of you all are very, very, very happy, and some of you all are very, very upset. Well, I want to first of all say congratulations to President-elect Donald Trump. Majority of Americans voted for him to become the next president of the United States. And according to Kamala Harris, there will be a smooth transition. There will be a smooth transition of government. So I'm excited about that. But tonight I've got my friends again with me tonight, my brothers. I've got brother Tarek Roberts. Is now becoming a regular on our program. Brother Tarek, good evening. How you doing tonight?
Doing fine, Pastor. How about yourself?
I am doing wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And then I have my brother John. Brother Jonathan, what's going on, bro?
I'm doing all right.
Man, doing why good. You look sad? You should be jumping up and down. Your man won.
We'll talk about it.
All right, buddy. We'll talk about it. All right. And then we have Mr. OMG. I told Mr. OMG, Jonathan, I told Mr. OMG, I said, man, you ain't got a Tesla. And now your boy giving $1 million away for people to vote for Trump. And, I said, boy, you got the car, but I got the money. Tesla went up $34 yesterday. If you have the stock, you'll be in the money right now. Tesla went up yesterday, and NVIDIA went up yesterday. And also, who else went up really well? NVIDIA went up high, almost like $7 a share. Tesla went up about $34. Amazon went up about $6 or $7 also yesterday. And I just happen to have all of them. That's what I'm talking about, making money moves. Anyway, we're welcome.
All right.
Hey, brother Joshua, good evening. Good evening. How you doing, sir?
Good evening. I'm doing good.
Why are you acting like you're not happy?
Happy about what?
Oh, man.
By driving that Tesla, boy.
Brother Jonathan, want to hear this? After they called the election for Donald Trump.
What do you do?
Brother Joshua sent me a text with Donald Trump holding a glass of champagne. That boy
As he should.
He's a mess. So, I told him, I said, man, is the bread still the same price? The bread price went down. Oh, he said, no, he's not in office yet. He's going to be in office in January. Anyway, we congratulate the president-elect, Donald Trump, and hopefully everything they promised the country, he'll be able to push them through and get them done. I pray that he has a good 4 years of governing and just bringing Americans together. Now, for some of you that are upset, that are disappointed, let's just work together and see what God will do. So we'll wait for the maybe by first quarter, second quarter of 2025. We'll wait for price of gas and price of food to go down like the promise does, and hopefully we will get rid of about 500,000 illegal aliens if we can. So we'll see. All right. Okay. Well, Brother Jonathan, talk to me. Well, how do you feel, and are you satisfied with the way the election went as far as the integrity and the voting and the lines and the counting? Let's talk about that first. Give me your experience. My experience was I went to vote. My wife and I, we voted early. It didn't take but 10 minutes, even though the line was long. It went really quick. And then on election day, I called my daughters. They didn't want to vote. They said, "Oh, we're not going to vote. The votes don't count." I said, "Girls, no, just go vote. I'll go with you." So I went with both of them, and we went to vote on election. I was very proud of both of my girls. They went to vote. Amen. So, and we were in line also when we got there, but the line went real quick, like 5-10 minutes, we were out of there. So it was really good. So, Brother Jonathan, what was your experience?
Like I stated before, my experience was actually pretty smooth. It took me about three minutes. I wasn't in there for 5 minutes max. Wow. I went and voted early, probably like the first week of early voting, just to get it out of the way. You know, once you already know who you're going to vote for, you got the opportunity to vote early. Actually, where I pick up my kids, there's a voting place in the same parking lot, so it was pretty easy for me.
It made it easy.
Pretty easy for me. Yeah, definitely.
How was the way the ballot was laid out? Were you comfortable with the way it was all laid out when you were voting?
Yeah, it was different than last time.
Yes,
this time we had to. They printed out your selections, and then you had to go feed it to a machine. So I double checked, make sure I wasn't no switching going on who I picked, and it was pretty smooth. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Well, do you think the election integrity was intact? There were no
Absolutely
cheating, none of that stuff.
I got a couple of questions about that. I just find it hard to believe that 81 million people voted for Biden, and then on this election, the numbers. I have a couple of issues with the turnout of how many people voted, but as far as the process and what's going on, I'm okay with it. I think it was good. You're supposed to show your ID.
You said the turnout, meaning that there were more people that voted this time?
No, there were less people.
Really?
Yeah, if you just think about the numbers, Biden got over 80-something million votes. Kamala got
about 4 years ago, right?
Yeah, 4 years ago.
Okay, but now Kamala got about how many?
Well, about 65.
65 million votes.
So when you think about the turnout, I wish everyone would exercise their right to vote.
Okay, so I'm glad you voted. That's great. That's great. Mm-hmm. We need to have everybody voting. I think there's been so much stuff, Brother Jonathan. There's been a lot of mud that they have put on, a lot of doubt that they have put on the election procedures. Mm-hmm. Even President-elect had a lot to do with that, always putting doubt in people's mind that, it's going to be rigged, it's going to be dead people are voting, they come out of the grave, all that didn't really happen. So I think that kind of put a bad taste in people's mouth that, okay, my votes don't matter anyway, they're going to cheat. Yeah. So, but I expected a lot of people to go out and vote, because a lot of people actually voted for Donald Trump. Because he increased his voter pool in all the areas that he didn't even win, 8 years ago. So he had a lot of increase in different areas and different categories. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's hear from Brother Terry. Brother Terry, did you vote?
Yes and no.
What do you mean yes and no? We cannot cap on my program, right? No capping.
Because I don't really like to put that out about what I did or didn't do.
No. I'm not big on talking about it. Who you voted for? Did you vote?
I know, but I'm just saying, some people are a little more easy about it. I put it like this: I was involved with some things, and that I did. I voted, but I didn't vote yeah. So
Did you get what he meant by
I
that?
helped out some stuff that, but I didn't. I would rather not say. How about that?
Did you
If that's
understand
okay.
what maybe young people are talking now? I don't understand them. So you have to take people to the poll, or you have some family emergency.
No, I was helping people find work polls. I had a friend of mine that had some open polls, and so I was involved. But I would rather not say what I chose to do because I don't want to influence nobody either way. But I would
There's no more
definitely like to
influence. We
talk
got a
about.
president already.
I know, but I'm saying as far as what I do, I don't want nobody trying to be like me. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I
On
see.
either
I see.
side, on either side. I
Okay.
just rather say, yeah, I was involved.
So okay, so I couldn't really ask you the question of how you went then.
I mean, I got opinions and stuff. I just, like I said,
No.
I don't like talking about my
I don't
own
want concepts or
personal.
opinions right now.
Well,
Okay.
I want my own personal stuff. When it comes to, see, I'm a different topic on that, and you very free about it, and you have your own opinion. You and Jonathan, I have my own opinion of certain things, and I don't want to disrupt the mood of our conversation with that.
All
So
right.
that's why I just deferred to whether I did or didn't vote.
Okay, Josh, did you vote?
No, sir, I did not vote.
Why didn't you vote?
I did not vote because I've watched several elections where people have voted, and then it came down to other people making the selection of president. You can win the popular vote and still lose presidency because the electoral vote is really what matters.
Yeah, but remember, we're not just voting for the president. Brother Jonathan educated us about 6 weeks ago.
I understand.
Judges, we have senators, we have.
I understand. I understand all of that, and I guarantee my one vote wasn't going to swing the pendulum either way.
You see, okay, Brother Jonathan, I want you to answer that. If 60 million or 85 million people felt the way Brother Joshua felt, how many votes you think we will have? Maybe 100, maybe 1,000. See, you can feel that way.
I can feel how I want to feel about voting.
Yes, you can. No. You can feel what you want to feel about voting, but for you to say my one vote doesn't matter.
Yes, and that's my opinion, that my one vote doesn't matter. Just like you feel that your vote, just like you feel that your vote matters.
I understand what he means. I kind of agree with the whole electoral college process. I don't quite understand it. I don't get it. I think that's something that does need to be changed. Let's just go every vote counts. Let's make every vote counts.
Exactly.
One person, one vote, you know. I don't understand their reasoning. They saying some states have less people. Oh, well, you know, every state counts, every vote counts. And I think it is very important to make every vote counts.
Yeah, I think with the electoral college, what they were trying to do is they have smaller states with lesser population, and they don't want a state that have mass population to just select the president or select all of these people, elect all of these people rather. They wanted the electoral college, or people that are the electorals, they actually look at the popular vote for them to cast their electoral votes.
That's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true.
It's happened one or twice in the history of the United States when it didn't go that way. But generally, it goes that way. Because you will have a real issue if, let's say, California has electoral votes of 15, and 90% of the people voted for Donald Trump, and then the electoral votes goes to Kamala Harris. They're gonna have trouble.
It happened in 2016, sir.
It just happened in 2016.
That's what I'm saying. It happens once in a while, but not overall. I mean, and those electors are probably even removed or reprimanded or replaced because they are not doing what they are elected or what they are picked to do. You are picked to cast your electoral votes based on your constituents, what your constituents wanted or what they voted for. Anyway, like Jonathan said, I don't understand it deeply either why they did that, but I've heard explanation made to me by politicians that it was done to make the election fair to the states that are smaller, so that it's not always the biggest states. Look at the way Donald Trump even understood it. Went to rural areas. and won pockets of rural areas. I mean, that turned that map red. So if those people feel like, some of us feel like my one vote doesn't count, Donald Trump will have lost. But I'm talking about rural areas. I'm talking about rural areas that I have 40 people. I saw one where they had 6 people, and 3 voted for Donald Trump and 3 voted for Kamala Harris. Anyway, well, I'm glad it's all over now. So congratulations to the president-elect. Now the work begins. Let me ask you, Brother Jonathan, what do you think the people, or what do you think people should expect, and how soon should they expect all the promises that's made for us to feel the effect? Let me tell you why I'm saying this. Even though the economy is better than it was, even though people said, no, it's not, it is, if you look at the numbers. It has not gotten down to the grocery store. It has not gotten down to the gas station. Because once it's fixed, it still takes months or maybe even a year for it to get to the grocery store. Now, and I'm telling you this because you want to prepare people that they don't think, okay, January 6th, it takes office, now gas is down to $1.75. Not. Oh, bread is going to be not. It may take a year for you to still see the effect of the work. Because before the election, if you look at the inflation went down, employment went up, and the economy is good. But we're not going to see the effect of that until 2025 or even 2026. But if everybody go hard on the president-elect Donald Trump, that you say you're going to bring the cost of everything down, you're going to do this. This is June 2025. The gas is still high. Brother Jonathan, what do you think? I mean, people's expectation needs to be managed. That they don't expect the price of all the household goods to go down January 10th. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. What do you think, Brother Jonathan?
I think they should have the same expectations they have for Kamala and Joe Biden. I think I think there's millions of people still waiting to get their student loan forgiveness. I think there's still millions of people who are still waiting for them to actually do something. I think the people who it's January 25th. Oh, my gas prices are still low. I think those are uneducated people. We need not concern with those people. I think we need to, people who are educated understand that it takes time. It does take time. You have to redo policies. You have to redraw troops that you're still spending money on in different areas. You have to stop spending so much money in different areas. You have to deal with the migrant crisis. You have to deal with all the access spending, which is one thing I loved about him. He was thinking about doing a government audit, which is really needed. We're a wasteful country. We're a wasteful culture and people in general. And I think we have to deal with the waste, the excess money that's being spent. And we have to deal with the inflation and the bankruptcy that's going on in some of our own major cities. So it's going to take a lot of time. I just don't worry about the people who say it's 5 days later and nothing has changed. Well, duh.
Okay, good. Brother Joshua, what do you think?
I mean, I second everything Jonathan said. As
when
far
do you
as
expect the price of goods to go down? What your expectation personally?
I don't have no expectations. I'm not in control of that. So when it happens, it happens. What I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare myself and my family for whether they stay the same, whether it goes up or whether it goes down. Would I like it to go down sooner than later? Absolutely. But my expectation isn't as soon as he gets in office, all of these things are going to magically happen. What I do know is going to happen is either before the day he gets in there, all those cases are gone. When he gets in there, those wars are going to be finished. And when he gets in there, the process of deportation is going to start immediately. That's what I know for sure. Now, everything else, I'm unsure of. But that's my opinion of what I think will happen as far as like we'll see immediate responses and immediate things happening.
I see. Bro Terry, what do you think?
To answer your question, I'm with Jonathan definitely. I think it is a very unrealistic of anyone to believe that a president comes in on day one, week one, and everything just goes into an instant snap of the fingers. Is all voila. We still waiting on changes from back when Obama was here. I mean, our world mentally when it comes to elections and things like that, it's a very fictitious position. It is one that is a very hard conversation because everybody think they're expert, and talking to an expert about something will always give you data and feedback and this and that. But then when people in an American society believe that data is tainted and disdained, then data means nothing. So now today's mindset, and it's funny that we're leading off talking about it because it is what's going on, right? And I think it's a great topic to try to make people at least aware, because I would say, which I believe about 70% of most people know that it's not instantaneous. And you got that little 15 percentile who hit the streets or at the barber shop talking that, man, I'm still gas, still hot. You can't do nothing about them people. I mean,
Right.
they're always gonna exist, they're always gonna be around, and they're always gonna be the loudest. How about that? And the
Yep.
guys who have a little more understanding and education will look like, oh, you must be one of those, and or you must have voted for Trump just because you're educated, right? Just because you have an idea of it. And I like the fact that we can't openly talk about it, but I think that it depends on how deep we want to really go. If we want to deal with that 15%, that might be a scary conversation. If we want to deal with the ones who have the general public person, I think they have an idea that it's not going to be instantaneous.
Okay, somebody said they cannot hear us. They cannot hear our audio. All of you watching us right now, tell me if you can hear us. I just got a message from somebody that said no audio.
Really?
Alice Graham said no audio.
No, there's
Anybody watching
audio
us
on
right
there. I
now?
just went to check on YouTube. There's audio.
There's audio. So Alice, check your phone. Turn your volume off. That's them generation, seasoned generation. All right.
What do y'all think about my comments? I know we went straight to Alice Gibson, but what y'all think about the
no,
comments I
not
made?
Alice Gibson. Hold on. We're
Uh,
coming to you in a minute. I just want
yeah.
to deal with these people. I want to make sure we're not having a problem online. I can hear. Okay. I just want to make sure we solve the problem. So, Bro Terry, finish your comment
No, I
about.
finished. I just want to see what the guys think about what I said. If Jonathan, especially you, what you thought about what I said.
Sometimes we just gotta ignore people. Like we just gotta ignore them. There's always gonna be that subgroup of people who have that just negative. Regardless of whatever it is. It may be sunny outside, but they're gonna say it's not sunny enough. They're never satisfied, and they will not never be satisfied. And something tells me that 15% didn't even vote. That 15% didn't even help select their new sheriff. That 15% didn't care about Ted Cruz being on the ballot again after what happened with these storms and all these other things. So we sometimes we got to stop giving that 15% any type of breath or any type of shine, any type of any of that. They really don't matter. There's always going to be somebody on the boat sinking it, and we don't even know. So that's how I feel about the 15%. I really just can't. We ain't worried about them.
You can't worry about all the noise of it. And most of the people that didn't vote is going to be making the loudest noise too. Okay,
Absolutely.
let me hear our viewers tonight. Welcome, Fire Librarian. Welcome to our program tonight. Mrs. Roberts, welcome to our program. Keda is out of state. Welcome to our program. Good evening. Alice Hinkson, welcome to our program tonight. Okay, we got a question from Lady Betty. Lady Betty said, can the president-elect start working on all those issues right now as he chooses his team? The answer is no, he cannot, because America only has one president. He's not the president yet, he's president-elect. He can start planning and strategizing and building his team, but he cannot make any decisions right now until after January 6th, because America does not have two presidents, only one. President Biden is still our president, and Kamala Harris is still our vice president. So all President-elect Trump can do is just start planning and picking his team and all that. He cannot make any laws. He cannot write any executive orders. He cannot command anything. He should not anyway. I never not say what he cannot do, because he does whatever he wants to do, but he should not be doing none of that stuff. He shouldn't be calling Putin or calling other presidents. You are not the president of the United States yet. You got to wait until, they certify the election. After January 6th, they hand over the government to you, then you can proceed. Which I hope he doesn't do that. But like I said, President-elect Trump sometimes does whatever he wants to do without even thinking about the consequences that it could cause the whole nation or the world. But Lady Betty, I hope that answers your question. It's not supposed to. Hopefully it doesn't. All right. Thank you very much for that question. Lilette, thank you. Let's say we can hear you. Okay, Ms. Robo said we can hear you. All right. Now, we're going to switch gear right now for all of you joining us tonight. You are on our program, What's Going On? We are talking about what's going on with the election, how it all happened. But before I move away from that, I wanted to show you all something that I felt like, I think Brother Joshua and I were talking, and I was looking at the data. Now, 74% of white men voted for President Trump, President-elect Trump. 69% of white women voted for him. 16% of the black men voted for him. 8% of the black women voted for him. 45% of the Latino men voted for him. And 40% of the Latino women voted for him. And then all other races, 55%. What do you think about that? Let me start with Joshua. Joshua, what do you think about that?
People are going to say publicly what's politically correct. And when they go in that booth, they're going to support who they in their heart they want to support. I thought all of these people were going to be taken out the trash when it come November 5th. I thought all the women that My Body, My Choice was going to side with Kamala, that was giving you your body, your choice. But when you got behind that panel and you understood, hey, he said some off the wall things. I don't agree with a lot of things that either of them say, but he seems like the one that's going to bring the change. And when they got behind the booth, they exercised their voting right. And everybody's mad and up in arms, but America chose who they wanted as their president.
And we have to live with it for 4 years.
Absolutely.
Whether good, bad, or ugly. All right. Thank you very much. Well, Brother Jonathan, what do you think? But Brother Joshua, that's what I thought too. I thought, man, at first I thought, now 90% of the black women voted for Kamala Harris. But only 24% of white men voted for her, and 31%, or 29% of the white women voted for her.
And how many were the black men that voted for Trump?
16%.
16.
Or I'm sorry. Yeah. For Trump.
81% voted for Kamala Harris.
But if you let society tell it, it's the black man's fault as to why Donald Trump is in office. But the data shows that
you said the young black man.
Yeah, it came out. A report came out, Joshua, that said that this was young black men came out in record numbers this year to vote for Trump. That's what the reports came out and said. How true that is, of course, those are things, again, that goes back to some of the bias, but it did come out. It did come out. Right. So I just wanted to verify that.
Now, what really surprised me though is the Latino men and women. It really surprised me.
Why?
We dealt with it last week, Pastor. It shouldn't have surprised you.
It surprised me because of the verbiage and all the stuff President-elect Donald Trump said.
Sure.
I'm going to deport all illegal aliens. Many of them are illegal aliens. Not many, a lot of them are illegal aliens.
But they not, but they may have family members, Pastor. They may not personally be, but they may have a connection to
they
one
are not
or two.
illegal. They are legal, but they have family members that are illegal.
Yeah.
And then you voted for somebody that's going to ship back all your cousins and your grandchildren that came here illegally. And that's what I meant by it surprised me. I was expecting the Latino population to really vote for Kamala Harris. But again, it is what it is. What do you think, Brother Jonathan?
I'm not surprised about the Latino vote. Florida has, because I've been to Florida, I know how Cubans think, I know how Puerto Ricans think. And Florida's always been a red state, so I really know Hispanics, not necessarily Hispanics. I want to say like the Mexican culture, but the Latino culture, the Cuban culture, they are Republicans. They're conservative by religion. See, that's what a lot of people fail to realize. It has nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with their religious principles.
Get them, baby.
And they're conservative. We're conservative as Black people. Why we voting Democrat, I don't know. But Latino people are conservative through to their Catholic religion. So when you start talking about different genders and this, that, and the third, they not with that. No matter what you say, they're going to vote conservatively. Yeah.
That's a good response to that question, because I've been wondering why. So now it makes a lot of sense because of their faith. It didn't matter if you deport us, as long as we're loving Jesus, and you're not going to change a man to a woman, a woman to a man. We ain't go. It makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that, Brother Jonathan. Thank you for that insight. Let me see if we have. Well, we're going to switch gear tonight. Now that election is here and it's gone, and we have President-elect Trump. 2025 is right upon us, and I want to spend the rest of the 20 minutes that we have on this program to talk about what our church last night. I was speaking about personal things that everybody should do, to prepare for the upcoming year, not just because of we have a new president, but just for the upcoming year, 2025. So tonight, I want us to talk about some effective personal economic strategies that we can consider as Americans generally. The strategies to consider for you to get your head above water, for you to survive, for you to do better, to get better. What things come to mind? Let me start with Brother Terry. What things come to mind as far as personal economic strategies? Like I said, I said 2 weeks ago, I told the church, I've got two plans. If Kamala Harris won the presidency, I had some plans in place. If Donald Trump won the presidency, I had some plans in place. Now, once I figured that the day before election, when I was seeing all the polls and all that, I changed some of my economic strategies online for my stocks, especially for some of the companies. I wasn't able to dabble into Tesla because I knew Tesla stock was going to go off the roof. I knew if Trump won, I knew that Tesla stock is going to, and it did. And I knew about 10 other stocks that I knew will actually do well because of all the promises of the campaign. So, but now that we have President-elect Trump, what will you guys say everybody in America should be doing as far as planning for 2025? Some economic strategies, personal economic strategies that you need to consider for 2025. Let me go with Brother Tarek first. Give us one, just give us one that you think everybody should be thinking about.
Probably the most prioritizing thing that I would tell anyone about, since I'm only getting one answer, it would be to put yourself in a position to take those little spending habits that you have, those annoying spending habits you have for unnecessary frivolous things, and maybe begin to put some of that money up in places that you can find yourself being able to say that there is a preliminary savings. I would say get more save conscious, not to the point of the bigger. I know not the bigger picture. Again, we're dealing with a vast audience. Your audience is a little more business minded, and stocks and bonds and different things that come to mind. I'm speaking to people that are everyday go to work, check to check folks who just looking for a president that's going to help them be able to have more money. If that never happens, as Joshua said earlier, I'm not in control of that. I love that answer. So I would speak to the American public and say, be more mindful, have a real plan for you and your family to have some things that you can start doing without. That's my answer.
Okay. All right. Bro Joshua.
I second what Big Bro said. Finding a way to cut back on frivolous spending any way that you can to in hopes to save that. I am one of those people that I don't feel I have the luxury of saving like I would like to.
What do you mean you don't have the luxury of saving?
Well, when when the bills total is higher than the income total, or just about the same as the income total, savings is something that isn't priority.
All right, we're going to talk about that tonight. I'm glad you said that, because there's a lot of people that feel the way you feel, that I don't have any money to save. Let me hear from Brother Jonathan.
My answer is a little bit different. It's more so geared toward Black people, Black culture. I think this is the time where we need to really support us, by us. I saw a lot of Black people try to use the identity to get us to vote for certain people. I saw the way that we treated people who of our skin color, same skin color, because we had a difference of opinion. What I think that what the Black people need to do for the next 4 years is to buy Black, spend Black, support Black, do things in your community, support your community first before you take your dollar out somewhere else. Economically, I think that's what the Black people need to focus on for the next couple of years is each other, loving each other better, respecting each other, difference of opinion or whatever the case may be. I think we need to get back to that, because what I've seen in the past couple of months is just ridiculous. I'm kind of embarrassed about when it comes to us. So I think for the next couple of years, that's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on getting on one agenda with our women, men and women. It seems like we were so divided. We spent so much time on the internet arguing about opinions and going 50-50 and dates and stuff, when we should be trying to come together as a culture. Because right now, the display that the Democratic Party put on, bringing out celebrities, twerking on stage, I was embarrassed about. So I think the representation of us and what needs to change, and we need to start supporting each other for the next couple of years. That's the thing we really need to focus on.
So basically, I'm hearing in budgeting and financial planning. Then, but people need to learn to budget. We need to create a detailed budget that outlines your income, your expenses, your savings, and your investments. Let me say this to everybody, all my viewers out there. I don't believe you don't have any money to save. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. If you truly sit down and create a budget, you look at your income, you create a budget, you will, and you continue to review that budget to adjust your financial plan so that you can stay on track with your goals. If you don't do that, if you don't plan, if you fail to do financial planning, you are planning to fail financially. My viewers, I don't agree, and I totally don't even believe that nobody has any money to save. If you make $100 a month, let's just say $1,000 a month, that's how much you make. What budgeting does is you cannot rent an apartment for $900, my friend. You only made $1,000 a month. You need to go find you 3 roommates. And you sleep in the living room, somebody sleep in the kitchen, somebody sleep in the bedroom, and you cannot make $1,000 a month and go spending $800 for rent. You are not budgeting. The way to budget is you look at what you make, and I use a plan called 70, 10, 10, 10. Your first 10%, you pay yourself. Because that's why some of you are going crazy right now. You don't pay yourself. You're all stressed out, have a mental health problem, and you're mad at the whole world because you work and you don't see nothing. Pay yourself. Take 10% of your check to take care of yourself, your health, your hair, your teeth, your eyes. If you want to go eat some marble slab ice cream with your 10%, go do that. Psychologically, subconsciously, you're going to feel like I work and I got paid. Okay? Before you pay MasterCard, pay yourself. Out of that $1,000, $100 belongs to you. Number 2, the second $100 belongs to you saving. You got to save $100. Then another $100, you've got to give it. You got to, I'm a pastor. I believe in tithing. I believe in giving. I know some of you are watching me. You don't believe in all of that. That's your business. I've been tithing. I've been giving. I didn't become what I've become today, robbing from what God has blessed me with. I help a lot of people, and I still help my church. I contribute on a regular basis to my church. Even though I'm the senior pastor, you can check my tithing information at the church. They're print and give it to you. Because I believe you must honor God with your substance. So 10% belongs to God. Send it to your church. No, I'm not asking you to give it to the homeless people. Send it to the church where you are fed every week, where you are being served, where the light is coming on, AC is on in that building. They have to pay for building insurance. Whatever church you are going to, or if you're watching them online on a regular basis, send them that 10%. Second 10%, pay yourself. Put it in your pocket, $100. If you want to go blow it up, that's your business. If that what makes you feel good. If you want to go smoke marijuana with your $100, if that what makes you feel good, then go do it. Oh, pastor, yes. You must pay you, or you're going to lose your mind in this season. Pay you. And then the third 10%, you put that in some savings account. I don't care if you can create a box or a jar, drop it in the jar and don't touch it. That's your savings. Now the remaining 70%, all them suckers going to have to divide it among themselves. The landlord, the groceries, the car note, the cable, they're going to have to share that. Now you may say, well, pastor, it doesn't make sense. That's the only way, or you will not make it in 2025. You will not make it. You will not make it if you don't get your budget in line. Why do you have 20 subscriptions and you say you have no savings? Why do you pay $800 for electricity bill or $500 for electricity bill? I just want to chill. I want to cool. You better get your carcass out of the house and go get some fresh air outside. You can turn your AC on at 65 and 68 degrees in your house and expect to survive in 2025, especially if you're only making minimum wage. I mean, you turn that AC up to 78 and get out of the house, go to work, or go do something, go to the park, go get some fresh air. Open the windows, especially it's getting cooler right now. Anyway, you got to budget. You can. I don't want. I don't like when people tell me, "Well, I don't have enough money to save." That is not true. You just don't want to save. How bad do you want it? If your why is strong enough, you will do it. If your why is not strong enough, you're going to have excuses. I'm going to say this and I'm going to be quiet. You can make excuses or you can make money. You can make both. You can have money or you can have excuses, but you cannot have both. So you can keep your excuses and stay broke up to 2025, or you can make a decision to, hey, baby, we can't be buying that expensive groceries now. You need to go get some coupons. Okay, cut some coupons. Hey, oh no, we're not eating out every 3-4 days out of the week. We're gonna cook up in here. Every time we go out to eat, we're spending $70. We can go spend the $70 to buy some groceries. It will last us 2 or 3 days. As opposed to eating it in one meal. You just have to learn to budget. Okay, and that's my take on that. Also, Brother Jonathan, Brother Terry, Brother Joshua, what do you all think about having emergency funds?
I mean, it's necessary. I mean, obviously it's necessary.
Emergency.
Man, say what you really want to say, John, because that's see the thing about this show is y'all didn't bring me on here to be. That's my big brother, but I'm gonna talk and I'm gonna say from everybody's perspective. He has a perspective. His perspective is one that dominates his life. He lives that way and he has a conviction for it. However, if you come outside, most people don't have that kind of life. Most people don't have those.
We're trying to teach them.
But no, I get it. I get it. I'm with you, but I'm trying to make it known to the because we don't want to when you speak like that to a vast audience.
Yes.
You make them go into a corner and revert as a more than come in and say help me. So what you gotta understand is the demographic of the mind that you're trying to help has been beat down by so many people's opinions of what they're doing wrong and what they need to do right that it becomes a cycle of whatever. Okay, I heard that before 70. But when you get to a place where you understand this, the vast majority of there's a lot of single mothers. There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys who have been incarcerated and coming out. Well, I'm saying they're coming out trying to do better, but they can't find these jobs. So a lot of the trying in their worlds is what they're hearing when they lose. They feel like failures because of the things that they're dealing with. Like Joshua made a comment and said his bill. So if you told a guy he makes $2,000, but his bills, I even go better than that. I told a guy one time, I said, if I make $100,000 a year, to most people, they would say that's a wonderful life, right? But if my bills came to 100,000 and 880 and 108, I'm still minus $8,000.
Yeah, so but you are minus $8,000 because of ignorance.
But I'm making a point that
no.
Some people don't really understand. I know you do. Well, I mean, because you spoke your piece and we I just let you you spoke.
I really want to hear you all because what I cannot get is the fact that I don't have money to buy milk for my child, but I got $350 to buy a bundle of hair. Make me understand that.
Jonathan started off with. See, Jonathan didn't talk about money. He actually dealt with that without saying it out loud. But it's only really one community that has that kind of mindset and goal-orientated lifestyle. All right.
Okay. I want you guys to help us. I want all of us to help the community that's listening to us. You are making $2,000. Why do you need $350 of Brazilian wax or bundle of hair when your child does not have milk?
Because nowhere else I'm going to go if I don't have that. I only have small windows of places that I can get clapped for and I can get seen. And though to you it's an erroneous purchase, to you it's a foolish thing. But for the 5 minutes in my life, in my world, where I've been beat down, kicked, cursed, treated like trash, treated like nothing, like I don't exist, for that little 10, 15 minutes in my life, when I can walk out that place with my Brazilian hair weave that I shouldn't have got, for that 5 minutes, I can feel like I'm somebody. Does it
Really?
make sense? Does it make sense? No. But is it a trending
It's a reality.
generational thing that we doing? It is. You
But
like we
don't,
all
okay.
go
Brother
ahead.
Judge says it's a reality. Don't we have to change that reality for our community? Like
It
Brother Judge,
sounds,
let's
but
buy
Pastor,
black. I
right.
mean,
It sounds good to say, hey, let's do better. Let's not spend frivolously. But you just talked about having $100 for yourself. Sometimes these things that you're calling frivolous is them paying themselves. I did that for a long time with shoes. That was a way, seemed like the only way I could pay myself was to purchase a pair of shoes. And that was a way to help me get up and go out every day to go hustle because I felt like, okay, hey, with all the hard work I'm gonna do, at the end
that's
of it,
important.
what I'm gonna get is I'm gonna get a pair of shoes at the end of the day. I don't work 40, 50, 60, 70, whatever the amount of hours is, the least I can do for myself is get a pair of shoes. And so
As
that was
long as it's
my,
not more than 10% of your monthly
again,
net income.
that sounds good. That sounds good. But when I've worked 100 hours in a week, or I worked 80 hours in a week, and you're telling me all that I could spend is, I don't know, $100, and
10%,
I feel like I've
10%.
lost 100 hours of my life, and I only get $100. I understand what you're saying. I get it. And again, it
All
sounds
I'm saying
good.
is person effective. I'm not saying what everybody should be doing. I'm saying effective personal economic strategies. Effective. I'm not saying what people, well, you know, I feel like I need to go buy me some rims and it makes me feel good. Is that effective? Remember, I'm talking about effective personal. I mean, people don't have to change, but if you don't change, you're going to keep getting the same thing.
True.
But if you want
Agreed.
something different, if you want a different life, if you want a different economic status, you want a different health, you're going to do something. Or if you
That
don't
that
do
that
anything, then you cannot complain.
that usually come with maturity, as Joshua probably didn't get to say, but it comes with maturity because I'm sure the Joshua that bought those shoes at that whatever that time frame was, because he didn't say, but I would imagine it was when he was younger. The Joshua with a family and children and responsibilities, he wouldn't even think twice about not he gonna make what he got work, but that
Right.
took maturity, and sometimes I would if I'm gonna say this because I can be open book on here.
I want to be honest, yes.
You raised Joshua, okay? You have all kind of strategies and all kind of data and all kinds of everything that any young man could have had to give a child an advantage. But to see Joshua have to openly admit, thank you for being transparent, little nephew, little bro, is this here. Now you understand that even in the best circumstances, there can be struggle, and that's what more people would identify with. The fact that you don't come on here and make me feel like because I didn't have a father, because my father didn't know strategies, because my father didn't set up his money right, that I'm in the back of the room. I can look at a Joshua and say, wait a minute, you know what? Even with all the advantages, Joshua came down some of my roads. So maybe I'm not that bad. Yeah, we both not this. This is how society works. I'm not saying right or wrong.
Oh, you can
Please
say it,
don't
bro,
hit me.
bro. You can say it, bro,
No,
bro.
they would look at it and feel a little. I know it's sad to say because again, we're talking about our community. They feel more accepted knowing that I'm not by myself. Now here comes the second side of that. Okay, now are you tired of the result? That's where insanity and those things, what you're talking about, Pastor, comes in at, is that,
Yes, sir.
okay, well, and here we go back to what Jonathan said about the community and the mental change. How long can you go through the same thing, get the same result before you finally get tired? Now, I can get tired for you, but that don't change nothing in your life. So
That's
that's
right.
where we're at is there's a lot of things that has to mature and mentally change. However, picking a president, having a certain person in office is not going to be the magic pill, which is what I believe we all are talking about. If we all can agree on that one, there's no magic pill for that. And I think the general public, what Jonathan said, I love what he said because he was very on point about the way we handled the election period. However, once the election period kind of that fizzles down, now all of the coming together and all of the things that we were talking about we want to do, it kind of moves out the way. So now we go right back to who at fault, because that's what the president situation has come to in America. Who's at fault for why I don't have? It ain't
Bro
me.
Jonathan,
I'm sorry. I mean, yeah.
Do you think, Bro Jonathan, I'm going to ask you this. I'm still on the thing that you can't keep, want to, buy stuff with the money you don't have to impress folk you don't like. You have to, like Joshua said earlier, you got to think for your family. There are some things I would love to have that I didn't buy. I didn't get it because I'm a budgeting kind of person. I budget. So, I mean, it don't matter if I have $30, I'm going to budget it some kind of way. I budget, that's just me. Because I've been there when I had 10 quarters to my name. And even with the $10 in worth of quarters, I budgeted. I gave my wife $4 worth of quarters because she was at home, and I kept $6 worth of quarters because I got to go to work. So in case I needed gas. All I'm saying is effective strategy for 2025. We need, Brother Jonathan said, we need to buy black and invest in black businesses and support black businesses. But again, I totally 100% agree with that. But we need to teach our community. You cannot continue to spend more than you earn and expect a different result. It's not going to happen. You can say, well, that makes me feel good. Do you want to feel good, or do you want to succeed?
But Pastor, you just talked about you literally just talked about insanity. And so if all my life all I'm doing is working to pay bills, that will drive somebody insane. That I'm
That's
giving
right.
up, I don't know how much of your life, is at least 50% of your life working, and you have nothing to show for it. Well, at least I have this car to show for it. At least I have these shoes. At least I have this house. At least I have these things to show for it. Versus, hey, I see somebody 30 years from now, they ask how I'm doing, and I'm in the same predicament because I'm 70, 10, 10, 10.
Okay, Bro Jonathan.
So I like what Brother Terry said, right? And what the older generation needs to understand is your delivery is just not good enough for this generation. We're not hearing you. And we're never going to hear you coming from a point of kind of like condemning us for the decisions that we make, right? You talk about how your father was a businessman and had this many wives and did this and built that. To us, we hear bragging. To us, we hear, at least you had a father. It's just the way that you say things that can turn the younger generation off. Like, it's a lot of telling us what we should do, how we ought to live, but there's no teaching. It's like when you guys asked me about the mentor, and you asked me if I ever had a mentor. No, because what we're looking for is people who are intentional, who are going to hold us accountable, not necessarily out loud and putting us on blast, but actually checking on us and actually putting in the work. What the problem is that a lot of Black people, I hate to say Black people, but older people, they get to a certain status in life and they continue to talk to us from up here instead of coming back here. It's like when they get money and they get out of the hood. They point their fingers at everything that's going on in the hood, but they never once came back and actually sat in them same chairs, sat at that same dinner table where people at right now, and put in the time to actually mentor and teach somebody. Like, you can't keep talking to us from outside of the glass, so to speak, but never stepping behind that glass and actually getting your hands dirty, like, and actually figuring out what's the problem. You can want us to have all these good things, but you have to you got to get involved, and that's really what I meant. Like, you got to
Yeah,
get
but
involved with your people.
Bro Jonathan, all my life, that's all I've done. Got my hand dirty in the dirt. I'm telling you right now. I don't. When we started the ministry, we built the ministry on just sitting with people on Saturdays and giving them piece of paper and letting them write, okay, this is what you made, this is how we're going to do it, this is how we're going to do it. I work on one-on-one with people. I've worked in a group with people. 1 year I helped where literally I spent the whole year helping individuals. I was not even pastoring then. Literally got over 700 people out of debt in 1 year. But I didn't do it by talking from a glass. I did it by giving of my time, giving the information, walking them through. They have my email address. They have my phone numbers. Saying these, okay. I mean, Brother Jonathan, literally, I can give you an example. One lady told me, well, I don't understand what you mean. I can stop using the credit cards. Guess what I did? I bought a little case. We put all the credit cards in there. We pour water in it and we put it in the freezer. And she said, what are you doing? I said, we're freezing the credit card. So don't leave it in the freezer. We're going to leave it there. You know what she told me? She said, Pastor, that actually helped me. I had another lady that I told her, you need to just get boxes. You don't need to go to the bank, just get boxes and take your money and put 10% here, put 10. Now, there's going to be temptation for you to go in this other box to take money out because it's there, right? And you really needed something. So I was never, because I came from where I didn't have a father when I came to America. I was a young man, 18 years old. But I spent time with people. I picked a woman that was homeless. Nobody wanted to help. I literally walked her through step by step. It took me almost 2 years to help this woman personally get her children back from the government, help her manage her money, I'm literally talking about drove her to the bank, showed her how to make deposits, how to make withdrawals. Okay, if your money is funny, if you want to do overdraft. She said, well, sometimes I don't have any money. I want to buy some donuts. I said, well, this is what you do. If there's no money in the account and the bank gave you $300 overdraft, this is what you do. Go there, take that $300 overdraft, and then you can spend it one by one. She looked at me like, huh? I said, because 1 month you pay $675 in overdraft. You bought a burger for $4, they charge you $35. Bank of America. You bought a cup of coffee, charge you $35. You bought Chinese food, they charge you $35. So now you spend $300 of your overdraft, but you pay $35 almost 20, 30 times. You could just pay one time and then you can use that cash. The light turned on. So what I'm saying is, I am the kind of person that I like to I'm a doer. I'm not just talking. I'm a doer. When I teach something, even when I was teaching about how to get rid of diabetes, I didn't just teach them. I brought the products to the church. I cut it up in front of them. I showed them how to cut it up, how to boil it. Credit, I help people with credit. Even this year alone, I've helped 4 people. Basically, they threw their hands up, right, Jonathan? They said, we're hurt. Yeah, this. No. Come.
But
I met with them 30 minutes every week, 30 minutes every week. This is what we do. And they followed it. I was with them all the way for 6 months until they got the credit to where they can buy a brand new car. So it's not that what we are doing tonight is not trying to really talk people down. It's trying to wake them up to say what you've been doing. There's a better way. There are 4 of us on this program. We've been there, done that. Let's show you where the snakes, the scorpions are, and hold your hand through it all. That's what I'm saying, Brother Jonathan.
Yeah, I get that. And I don't want, so when I speak about you, I don't necessarily mean you. I mean your age group and what
Yes,
you
sir.
guys
Yes, sir.
came from. So
Yes, sir.
as a whole, as your generation, we're not we don't hear you. You know what I mean? We don't hear you. And
Okay.
so like the delivery, not and I know that you do those things. I know that. But let's just talk about the now. We're not moved by older figures, celebrity anymore, because I don't think people realize we have to deal with real life quicker than ever before, than
Yeah.
any other generation. We've dealt with more change and economic than any other generation, besides the Great Depression, which was so many years ago. We've dealt with the internet. We've dealt with, like, it's so many different things that we're dealing with now that older generations just don't quite
No, we
understand.
didn't deal with that. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
didn't deal with that, so it's a lot different. You know what I mean? So I just wish that, you know, there was a lot more mentorship. There was a lot more. Look, I'm gonna get him, and that's gonna be my little brother. I'm gonna get her. That's gonna be my little sister. Like Lady Bree, I heard she has some stuff coming up for older girls and younger girls.
Oh,
I
she's done
love
it
that
three times, about two or three
because
times. Yeah.
it starts at that type of age. It's like you're trying to teach, not you, but the older generation is trying to teach us who are old dogs now. We're 30, we're 25, we're in dog years, we're old. You're trying to teach us new tricks, and it's like, look, y'all should have started teaching us this when we were kids. And even if you have those great teachings, you still can fall short. You
Oh
still
yeah.
have
Oh yeah.
mishaps and things of that nature. So I think
Yes.
it's like there's not enough recognition of that, how tough it really is to be that 1%. Because when you think about it, you're in the 1%. You know how hard it is to be in the 1%? If everybody who did what they were supposed to do and follow the rules and went to school and did that, and they're still not in the 1%. So it's really, really tough to get in the 1%. And I don't think people realize that. I think we need to do a lot more just teaching us not to give up, because I think a lot of people
Okay,
do
what
give
is
up.
your recommend? What is your? I'm going to get a recommendation for each one of you all. What should we do? And I'm talking to you. I mean, you guys are in their age group. Let me just ask you, Joshua, Tarek, Jonathan, what do you need from the older generation? Tell us what you need. What kind of presentation do you need? What kind of hand holding do you need? What kind of mentoring do you need? How does it look? What does it look like for you guys when you need it and you feel like you're just going to try to do whatever you can do, but it seems like you are struggling with it? I'm asking, show us how to love you, or show us how to mentor you. Show me how for me to help or to contribute to your life or to lift you up some kind of way. Show me. I don't know how. Show me. That's why I'm asking three of you right now. So let's start with Brother Tarek.
No, I would like to go last because I'm older than them. I want to hear what they got to say. If that's okay. I want to hear what they got to say because I like that. I like that as a question.
Brother Jonathan. Brother Joshua. Brother Joshua, let's come with you first. And the thing is, I'm saying, show the older generation how to, I don't want to use the word help, but how to mentor or maybe show you the way. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? Show me how you want it.
We get it.
So before I do that, going back to what Jonathan was saying, you talk about you had $10 worth of, at one point in time you had $10 worth of
quarters.
of money to your name.
Yes, sir.
That $10 back then is like $1,000 today.
Okay.
And so because you've seen, hey, I could survive, and me and my wife and my family made it off of $10, you're looking at the new generation like, you guys have $1,000. Why can't y'all make this $1,000 work? Not understanding that with inflation and with everything, even the $60,000 that was in the 90s, you would need to make $144,000 in 2024 to be equivalent to that amount of money. So
Yes.
I think the older generation is looking like y'all are lazy, y'all are frivolous with your money, because y'all are looking at, hey, y'all are making $60,000 and $70,000 or $80,000, like Brother Terry said, $100,000. But yes, it's $100,000 today, but it's not enough. And that might sound crazy to some people. Oh, $100,000, that's not enough. But if you really were to break down just average bills, average housing, all of those things, $100,000 take home after taxes is not enough for a family. Maybe a single person, but not for a family. But as far as showing the older generation showing or
Mentoring. I'm
mentoring
asking you all,
or
yeah, ask
helping,
me. Yeah, yeah.
it goes back to what Jonathan is saying is not throwing the decision making in this generation's face. Oh, well, I told you should have gone to school for this, or the help that the older generation gives is very condescending. Because certain people have made it, and they had their struggles, they almost minimize your struggles and what you have to deal with and what you're going through as far as a young adult in 2024. And that you don't have the drive or the willpower to make things happen. So I think a way that the older generation can help and mentor would be to think back, like you were saying, when you had those $10 worth of quarters, like what was your mindset back then? Yeah, we know what your mindset is now, but think about your mindset when you had that $10.
Can I tell you what my mindset was?
Go ahead.
My mindset was, I'm gonna go to work all week, and I pray this car. I had a Datsun B210 yellow. My prayer was that this half tank of gas will help me make it to work and back. My decision was there would be no going out to drive anywhere but to work and back. Those were decisions that I had to make with that $10. And also that I would not eat lunch at work. I would take leftover from my wife to work. So you see, I'm making decisions. Okay. It was because I didn't have a father, a mother, anybody to borrow money from. Here I have a wife and 2 kids, and I got $10. Okay. So, and I told my wife, this is what we have. You keep $4, I keep 6. My 6 is should in case the car stops, I can buy 2 gallons or 3 gallons of gas to get back home. And as God will have it, from that Monday to that Friday, that half a tank of gas got me to Foley's. To where the last day, Brother Jonathan, Brother Terry, Brother Joshua, I was driving on fumes, and I'm praying, Lord, please don't let this car stop. And I say I had my $6 by the end of Friday, because guess what I did? I made a decision not to eat at Foley's when everybody's going to lunch. I went and pull up my little sandwich that my wife made for me. I ate it. And when I got back home, I didn't drive back out to anywhere because I knew I needed that gas to do what I had to do. Literally, I kept the $6 for the whole week because my why was very strong. What was my why? To make it without stopping on the freeway with his car. And for that $6 to stay in my pocket, in case the car stops, I can stop at the gas station. And to where the second week, when I got paid that Friday and I put gas in my car, and I almost beat myself. I said, man, maybe the Lord want me to drive on film for the next 1 year. Maybe I will have started the ministry, drive on empty for 1 year. But I just said no. I didn't want to tempt the Lord. I got paid and I put gas in my car. So that's what I'm talking about. I think what I'm saying is our decision-making process has to change when we find ourselves in this dilemma. It has to change.
Okay, we got that point because that's been driven
Brother
home.
Jonathan, I was telling one of our young people, to show you how my teaching moment is. One of our young people asked me, "Do you have Hulu?" I said, "No." They said, "Do you have?" They named about 5 different subscriptions. I said, "No." "Do you have Apple Music?" I said, "Yes and no." "Well, I pay $16 for Apple Music or $14. I said, "Well, guess what? I pay $14 for 5 of us. I got a family plan." And he said, "You could do that?" Yes, you could. You could just get you and your 3 friends, got together, get one up. They let you do that. But everybody wanted their own. 16, 14, 14, 14, 14. 5 of us is sharing Apple Music. 5 of us sharing Apple Music. Now, why don't I have Hulu? Maybe I'm going to watch it once a week. My Netflix, I used to have it to watch movies, but then I canceled it. But then somebody came out with a free Netflix, T-Mobile, so I got free Netflix for the past 6 years. All I'm saying is every person has to make a decision for themselves. Do I want to continue to live this way? Or do I want to sacrifice some things? And that's what I'm talking about. Just maybe sacrificing eating out, sacrificing going to the club this weekend. I want to go hang out, but my why is so strong that I'm not going to let my family suffer. And that's what I'm saying. It takes work and it takes sacrifice to make it in this generation. And I hear you. I'm hearing you. That's why I'm asking you, show us or show me how to mentor you. What do you need from the older generation? So, brother Jonathan.
It just really depends on what each person needs. Not every person needs a blanket type of mentoring. Whether it's not necessarily, because the easy answer is money for everybody. Deal with the debt, deal with the different things of that nature. And a lot of times credit card debt is a major thing that young people we pick up at an early age that we're always constantly paying back, whether it's a student loan or whatever. But I think that, first finding out what that individual needs, like with me, is access to capital. I don't need you to give me money. I want you to show me how, where to go to get access to capital. So it really just depends on that individual.
What kind of capital are we talking about? Business capital?
Business capital. That's the number one thing. If some people just have an idea, have a way of doing things, and if they can just get to that next step, that capital, they'll take care of a lot of other things. Some people have a issue with women. I think a lot of more people who dated around and been around the block and been in so many different relationships, mentoring a guy on what to look for and what not to look for, because I don't want it to always be on money, because a lot of times it isn't money, it's life, it's women, it's health. Someone who's gonna hold me accountable with my own health. What are you eating? How's your dieting? My family has a history of X, Y, and Z. Check up on me, make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Go walking with me, encourage some of these overweight young people. It's a lot of, I don't want to just say it's always about money. It's an easy thing to say, but be intentional. You gotta be intentional as an older person. Don't just talk down on me. Don't tell me what I'm not doing wrong. Be intentional. Make me feel like it's a real relationship. You know what I mean? A lot of times people just need real relationships. We need you to be real. Share. You ain't been with that one woman your whole life, man. Tell me what's been going on. Tell me how, so I don't make the same mistakes. And I think that's a lot of times what we're looking for. We're just looking for real conversation and guidance. We don't necessarily need money or finances. We need real conversation and guidance and accountability.
Let me ask you a question, Brother Jonathan. I remember when somebody said that about health. They kept saying, show me, show me, show me, show me, show me. I said, well, I'm showing you, I'm walking. I'm doing video of my walk. I can walk with you. And then they said, well, you live too far. So guess what I did, Brother Jonathan? I came to you because you are into health and exercise and wealth. I came
And
to
I ain't seen
you.
you again either.
You came out. No. I came to you and you came up with a program for people to come to the park.
Yeah. Yeah.
The people that didn't need it much are the ones that came. The ones that really needed it didn't come. Then I said, okay, maybe they didn't want to drive. They're already coming to church, right? I don't know if you all remember that. To show you, Brother Terry, I got down. Okay, I'm now not just preaching or teaching about health. After church, I jumped in my jumpsuit, you know, I went out in the back with Brother Jonathan. It was only 7 of us. And the ones that are on the way that needed it, looking at us like we're crazy.
But look what you're doing. But look at Thursday nights. What's going on? Rain, sleet, hail, or snow. You're gonna still do it, right?
Yes, sir.
So regardless of if 6 people, 5 people, or 1 person show up, still do it, because the goal is to change 1 life at a time, not 7 people's lives at a time. If you can change that 1 person life at a time, that's all that matters. You know.
Okay, I'm going to give you that assignment. I'm going to give you that assignment for you to talk to Brother Brandon. Brother Brandon is in charge. Brother Brandon and Sister Pressure, they're in charge of that ministry, the whole ministry, Wealthy, Healthy, and Overcoming. I think they got discouraged because it was always just me, him, his wife, the Giddens, and maybe sister, another two sisters. And then the rest of them sitting at the church eating ice cream and cake while they're sweating. And we announced that everybody, they didn't want to come to the park. When you did the one at the park, I thought we were going to have like 100 people. We had less than 20.
But what did the shepherd do? He left all them sheep to go back and get one. We really just trying to get saved 1 at a time. We ain't trying to save 10,000 people. If you can save 1 person financially and he becomes a millionaire, what you think he gonna do? He gonna bless you and bless everybody else. If you can get 1 person to lose some weight and get their health together, that's all that matters. It's the 1. We can't save the group.
That's true. That's true. And I totally agree with you, Brother Jonathan. And in this season, that what I've been doing actually now, I just decided to pick 1 person and work with them, because helping the masses is not working. So, I mean, even with the preaching and teaching people how to minister, I'm doing it now to where I only pick 1 person and work with them and see where they go and work. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that advice, though. That forget about the masses. Let's just find the one that's willing, to work it.
1 person.
Brother Terry, you got the floor. We got 1 more minute left.
Nah, don't give him 1 minute.
Hey,
I have to tell him that.
Hey, amen, brother. That's it. I'm gonna say amen, man. Y'all got it. This been
no. Go ahead. We want to hear from you before we go closer.
What we talking about? What we talking about? Because I think we got off subject. So tell me, Joshua, what we were talking. We were
talking about how the older generation. We were talking about the older gen. The last question was, how can the older generation teach more effectively or mentor more effectively with the younger generation?
Okay. So the reason I wanted to go last was because I wanted to make a point. You guys are a younger generation. There's some younger, there's a little bit older, but y'all in there. So what I'm hearing is this. People have been very inconsistent with things toward you guys. They start off with you. They act like they love you. They come around for a little while. They meet their quota mark, and then all of a sudden they disappear. And then they go tell. They're gonna go to around a group of other men and tell everybody all their stories about what they did and how they did. But you ask yourself, from the time I started with Pastor to today, what group migrates to me the most? Joshua Johnson. What group? If you look at our church demographic, because I'm 50, so I can hang with the old. But what group migrates?
It's gonna be the young. It's gonna be the younger.
But
it's gonna be us.
Why do y'all migrate to me?
Approachable. You're not gonna lie to us. You're consistent. You keep it real, and it's digestible. If that makes sense.
I asked that question for a reason, because I don't want to put my little niece on blast, but I'm gonna say something. I don't know if my name came up in her house. I don't know if my name came up somewhere else. But I got a call from Rebecca today. She just texted me. She said, hey, big bro, I'm just checking on you, man, seeing how you doing and everything. Make sure everything good with you. The reason I'm saying that to y'all is this: we don't need a roadmap to try to love people, right? We don't need a roadmap to know how to give people things that they need. I like what Jonathan said. Every individual situation is different, but it's staying consistent with whatever you're gonna do. Be real about it and very transparent to the point of embarrassment, because this generation can't stand cap. See, people use that word and phrase and don't really know what it means. Because when I was young, we used to say he capping. That only meant you was embellishing something that happened to you. You know, if you scored one touchdown, you came back and you said, "Yeah, man, I did this, man, I did that, man." You talk with your hands. So y'all generation came up and said that, just put cap on it, right? But we understand what it means. My point for saying that is this, and the reason I brought myself to up, Pastor, was I want to make sure it's known that it does not take work. I've never made y'all feel like it was work. I've only just been me with y'all, the me that I know you deserve me to be. One of the main reasons that I'm on this is because y'all two on, me and Pastor talk all the time. Because y'all two on here, I wanted to be on this, man. Because I know who y'all are as men, and I also knew who you guys were as young boys. In some cases, younger boys with some of y'all. So to see y'all be the men y'all are today, bro, I love passing the mantle to y'all, because where we messed up at, pick it up, man. Look at them younger boys behind y'all. Y'all figure out what y'all need to do, because just like y'all looked up to me, they look up to y'all. Guess what? I looked up to him. I looked up to him. And that all you got three, you got pastor, myself, and then y'all. That's three different dispensations of the same love, just being authentic and making your love be seen. That's our brother Terry got.
Amen. Amen. That's awesome, Brother Terry. That's awesome. Thank you very much for that. This is why I changed what's going on, so that people can hear from different generations and see what life looks like to them, how they live in life, married, with their children, with their struggles and their challenges, and also their growth. So I appreciate all of you for you helping somebody, whether you believe it or not. You are
Amen.
helping somebody. Somebody heard you, Brother Terry. Somebody heard you, Brother Jonathan. Somebody heard you, Brother Joshua. They heard all of you all.
Amen.
And they may not comment, they may not say much, but I think they are getting it that we are not alone. We've got other people that's having the same challenges, and they're talking about it and see how they can change, how things can change for them, and how they can pass their mantle, like what Brother Terry was saying. I appreciate you guys so very much. I really, really, really love you. I love this program. I love the fact that, and I appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedules. All the three of you all are busy. I know this for a fact. And I want to tell you, I really, really appreciate you. I cannot pay you enough to be on this program. But I promise you, we're going to have a T-bone steak. I promise you that. We'll have a you all pick the spot. Okay. Who is going to take the responsibility to pick the spot and time? Who is going to take that?
Hey, I'm gonna let them. I say Perry's
no. We want a real T-bone steak.
Hey man, I'm telling you, Perry's Steakhouse.
Who is going to pick?
Y'all been there before?
Brother Jonathan, you want Terry?
Hey, I'm going wherever I got to pick up the check.
Perry's, pass with a P.
Oh, Perry. Brother Joshua.
I mean, yeah, you got Perry's, you got steak 48, you got 5150.
Somebody trying to take about it.
Don't be talking about no $200 steak now.
Y'all said steak, so.
All right, Brother Joshua, why don't you schedule that for us? Okay, call everybody, schedule it for us. And
we'll get it together.
And we need to do it, and then we'll take some pictures and show it on our next program. All right, family, thank you for joining us tonight. I want to thank Brother Jonathan Myers, Brother Joshua, Olufemi Bandele, and Brother Terry Roberts. We appreciate them. Family, thank you for joining us tonight on this program. We're doing it because of you. We want you to comment. We want you to give us, what you want us to talk about. And we want you to listen to this young man and learn from them. So we thank you so very much for joining us tonight. Until next week on this same channel, this is yours truly, Pastor Akin Bandele. Good night, everyone. We love you.